Low intensity builds were a sore subject in the community for a little while. While some people still view them as a crutch, I view them a lot more favorably because I'm lazy. You see, I love to mention the Pareto distribution. I love the law of diminishing returns. And when it comes to low intensity builds, it is basically music to my ears. The most output for the least amount of work. So whether you are like me, where you just want a nice chill time playing the game, or you have some kind of physical or mental impairment that prevents you from playing the game with all of the sweat lords, here we have the best low intensity builds for each class in Guild Wars 2. Like always, I am an ArenaNet partner. These builds are fairly specific, so if you are missing an expansion for a class, you can use my referral link if you want to support the channel. Getting started, we are going to start with the Engineer this time around because we can't mention low intensity builds without mentioning the Mechanist. The Power Rifle Mechanist is the traditional OG overlord of low intensity builds, and even though you can run Grenade Kit to maximize the damage, you really should just run Throw Mine instead. Since you are running basically full signets, all you really need to focus on is using your rifle skills and making sure your mech isn't in Narnia by using your shift signet to reposition it. This build has an impressive like 35k benchmark, and considering you are literally just blowing your weapon skills off cooldown followed by your mech skills, your F skills, you basically can't go wrong by playing it. Similar to this, the Condi Mechanist is an absolute menace as well. It runs spear instead of rifle, but it also runs full signets. With this guy, you are using auto attacks primarily, lightning rod into conduit surge, and devastator. The rest of this build is literally just auto attacks non-stop on spear. It gets a similar output to the power version, so power or Condi mech, just pick either one depending on what fight prioritizes Condi or power, and you'll have an easy win on your hands. For our next class, we are going to cover another crowd pleaser, the Thief. The Thief in almost all of its builds are actually pretty low intensity. Even full on DPS builds are actually pretty easy to play, like the Condi Daredevil, the Power Daredevil. They both focus literally on one button. I covered the Condi Daredevil back in the day with this video, and it still largely holds up to this day, maybe modernizing a few things here and there, but I've been a Condi Daredevil fan for years and years now. The real focus of that build is you are going to want to use kimchi pancakes. This one does involve using your utility skills, which boo, we don't want that. We can actually go even easier. And of course, we are talking about the pistol power Deadeye and the power quickness Deadeye. During this last patch, we thought the pistol Deadeye may be dead because of balance, but in fact, we aren't dead. We are very alive and very well. The only difference between the power Deadeye and the power quickness Deadeye is the trait Steal Time. So for the quickness version, you run Steal Time, and for the power version, you run the Quick and the Dead. The rest of the build just involves you spamming Unload. Ultimately, the quickness variation isn't that low intensity in terms of managing your boon up times, but it is pretty easy. You just spam your steal, you reset your steal, you spam it again, and just so that way you could keep using Steal Time over and over and over again. It's really simple to play, but even if you just run full power pistol Deadeye, you are like in a super easy mode build. I'm pretty sure I've cleared almost every raid wing with this build in the past. Really, this has just been a fan favorite for a long time in the community, and is probably more infamous than the Power Rifle Mechanist. Moving on, we'll just round out the medium armor classes with Ranger, and we are going to go with the modified Power and Condi Soulbeast. We'll start with the Condi Soulbeast since these are kind of alternate versions of full build. This version runs short bow. You run the bee and the warthog as pets, and you basically just use your preparations as you are going into an encounter. One wolf pack as part of your opener, and then you blow your short bow skills and your trap. Spike trap can be swapped out with your other stances, primarily for Dolyak stance for stability. And since this build is already running leader of the pack in its trait line, it allows for the low intensity guys to actually bring some group support with them. So very valuable. I personally love running leader of the pack instead of oppressive superiority in terms of Soulbeast builds, but this allows you to bring a little bit more utility if your team needs it. So now let's talk about the power version. The power version runs sword and axe. So instead of running leader of the pack, it does run oppressive superiority. The key with the Soulbeast is stacking damage modifiers. This has been the case for the full build. It is the case with this build as well. For the low intensity one, you run Sick'em, Frost Trap, and one Wolf Pack combined with any CC skill to trigger twice as vicious from your traits, and you are golden. Your rotation looks like this. You use Sick'em, you use Frost Trap, you use one Wolf Pack, then you use Axe 4, and then Axe 5. And since one Wolf Pack has a long ass cooldown, you can either auto attack chain, or you can use your F1 skill, your F3 skill, in addition to your skills 2 and 3 on sword. You wait for Sick'em and Frost Trap to come off cooldown again. You use them. You use your Axe 4 into Axe 5. The damage modifier, like build up into Axe 5 combo, is where your damage comes from. So you load them up and you blow your Axe 5. You auto attack, you load them up, and you blow your Axe 5. The sword axe version can be easily transitioned into the full DPS version by throwing like spear, hammer, or longbow into your second weapon set. So if you are getting started with learning the Soulbeast, this is a super easy way to get into playing like full power Soulbeast. You could start with this version and transition into the full power version. And I would definitely recommend this route over playing the Condi version and then trying to go into Condi Soulbeast that uses daggers and stuff. It's not really short bow. So yeah, I would recommend power version over Condi version, but both are really good. Moving on to the Mesmer. Now for the Mesmer, there are a few cheesy builds that you can run. There are a few easy builds, but full DPS builds are usually pretty complicated. The Power and Condi Virtuoso are kind of lower on the complication scale, but the Condi Vert can actually get simplified further than its full DPS version. And that's what we're going to be talking about now, the Condi Virtuoso low intensity version. This runs dagger and sword only, and you are running Rain of Swords instead of Signet of Illusions. So if you want to run a slightly higher intensity version, you can run Signet of Illusions. You can reset your F skills from time to time to get more blades, or just ignore your signets altogether, right? Basically, the goal of this is to make sure you use Sword 5 off cooldown and you use your F2 as your primary shatter with as many blades as possible. Following this, you can use your F1 and your F5 to blow additional blades, and then you just use all of your weapon skills except for your sword 4. The gear is identical to the full DPS Condi Virtuoso, where you have an offhand focus and that you switch back and forth between. However, this build does perform pretty well, so if you are a Mesmer enjoyer, this is where you want to be. Next up, we're taking a look at everybody's least favorite class, the Elementalist. Now, we are going to run with the Condi Tempest, and as far as I'm concerned, the Tempest is the only elite specialization the Elementalist has, and for good reason. It's literally the best one. With that, you run Scepter Warhorn, and you just stay and fire the whole time. The whole Fire Wizard meme for the Evoker, nah, we are only going to use fire on the Tempest. You can use your Scepter skills off cooldown. You summon your Lesser Elemental Glyph and your Glyph of Elements in fire, and then the rotation is as follows. So you summon your 2 summons, and then you use your F1 skill, you use your Fire Skill 2, Fire Skill 3, Fire Skill 5, and then you auto attack. You use those skills off cooldowns, and you auto attack in between. That's the whole rotation. That's the build. Elementalist made easy. It is not a power build. If you want a little faster power build, like a full build, I personally would run the Power Fresh Air Tempest. It goes between fire, air, and water, and basically it's focused around overloads. It is pretty easy to understand. It's a little faster paced than low intensity builds, but it's very good. Next up, we are talking about the Necromancer. I know Necromancer players are super tired of hearing this, but it is going to be the Greatsword Power Reaper from me.
Oh shit, here we go again.
I know, bro, we're all tired of playing Power Reaper. It's literally just the best build. You run 2 wells, you pop your wells, you use your Greatsword 4 and 5, you go into Shroud, you use 4 and 5, auto attack. You know, it's super simple and it's super survivable. You really just No other necro spec can compare to that. So like I said, you basically are going to focus on getting into Shroud. So you're using your skills 4 and 5 and then auto attacking. When you aren't in Shroud, you want to wait until your greatsword skills 4 and 5 are up. Then you use them. And then you go into Shroud and you use Shroud skills 4 and 5. And then you auto attack. Now, the key is when you want to get out of Shroud, right? You don't want to just camp Shroud until it runs out. And that is when your Shroud skills 4 and 5 are about halfway done resetting. So when they're halfway through their cooldown, that's when you get out. Then you use your greatsword stuff, you use your wells, and then you go back in, right? So you use them right away. Then when they're about halfway done, pop out, use your wells, use your greatsword, back into Shroud, skills 4 and 5, halfway done, pop out. It's a really easy loop. Reaper is just too strong not to mention here. Now let's get into the big boys, our heavy armor kings, dude. Let's start with Guardian. I actually mentioned this build in my last video. So of course we're going to be talking about the Condi Willbender. This guy runs pistol. The core concept is to use your F1 skill, then use Purging Flames, then use Whirling Light to get all the little spin, fire, combo finisher effects. Then you use your skills 3 to drop your symbol, and then you blow the rest of your pistol skills. That's the whole rotation. So F1, use Purging Flames, Whirling Light, throw down your symbol, all of your other weapon skills, rinse and repeat. Too easy. And that's it. That's the Guardian. That's the Condi Willbender. Next up, Warrior. Once again, we're looking at the Power Spellbreaker. Basically, my favorite Warrior Elite spec. This again is a simplified version of the full DPS Spellbreaker. So if you're looking at the Dagger, Mace, Hammer Spellbreaker and you want to get started with it, but you're a little intimidated, this is where you want to start. So we are running Dagger, Mace. We are running full signets, except we are running kick. You basically want to use all of your signets leading up to the fight. They give you a damage modifier from your traits. Then you use kick. Then you use your skill 3 and your F1. Those apply some more damage modifiers. And then you blow them with the 4-5-4 combo, which is Crushing Blow, Tremor. That resets Crushing Blow and you use it again. You use your Elite Signet. After, when I say use all your signets, you use all of them. When your Elite Signet is off cooldown, you use it again to reset your signet buff. So you're basically running a simple, like halfway there version of the full Power Spellbreaker. It's a great starting point for all of the warrior players. So recap real quick, all signets, kick, skill 3, F1, 4-5-4 combo, auto attacks until you can repeat with kick and use your other skills, including your Elite Signet as they come off cooldown. Eventually, you might want to throw Hammer in on your other weapon set and try to incorporate that if you wanted to like get out of the low intensity environment, but that's my recommendation. Last, but certainly not least, we have the Revenant. And of course, we are going to be running the Power Vindicator, running Sword with Shiro Chalice. This guy is based around dodging. So you dodge, and then you start auto attacking. You use your Energy Meld, and then you dodge to burn your Endurance. Energy Meld gives you a modifier for your next dodge, so you want to use it and then dodge immediately. Like use dodge, use Energy Meld, dodge immediately. Then on Shiro, you just basically want to run Impossible Odds. You keep that running for as long as you can. Use your dodges, use some weapon skills, jump over to Chalice, your dwarf stance, and then you run Vengeful Hammers. So when you're low on energy from either side, you swap to the other one and you immediately run Impossible Odds or Vengeful Hammers. As far as your weapon skills go, you want to focus on your skill 2 and auto attacks. However, you can basically use all of your skills except for skill 3. So auto attacks skill 2, you use 4 and 5 off cooldown, ignore skill 3, spam dodges, use Energy Meld, spam dodges, use your upkeep skills, and that's your damage. That's how you play this guy. It's very simple, and if you are a Revenant player, you probably are familiar with this kind of playstyle, managing your energy. In that case, it's super easy, super simple build rotationally. It provides good damage, lots of evade frames from just spamming dodge. It's a solid build. And with that, we are done. Let me know what low intensity builds are your favorite. These builds will work in all content of the game, except they are better at group content. So meta events with big zergs, raids, fractals, stuff like that. That's where you want to run these builds. You can run them in the open world, just running solo, but there are better open world builds out there, and maybe that might be my next project, who knows. With that, I want to thank you for watching. A big thanks to all of my subscribers and a special thanks to all of my members who support the channel. Let me know in the comments what you think. Thanks again, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.